Happy Friday. Today is our last Friday before we start school for the year, and so today my to-do list was to get the homeschool room completely ready so that we can jump in Monday morning, and I know that everything will be put away and clean, and everyone likes to start with a clean room. So I figured while it's so clean, I will do a little homeschool room tour and just show what I have learned works best for this space. I have homeschooled in 2 other spaces. Our first year, Madeline was in kindergarten. We shared a house with my parents that basically we had like our own little wing, if for lack of better words. I'll try and find pictures and videos of that time that I schooled kindergarten that way. It totally worked, and we used a little kiddie table for when she sat and did her copy work. We sat on the couch a lot. I did have a little chalkboard that we used every now and then, but we totally made things work. Then the second place we schooled, she was in 1st grade. Lila still wasn't in formal schooling yet, so we were in a 2-bedroom apartment, and we schooled at the kitchen table, and that was also a really sweet time. And then last year we moved into the home that we're currently in, and we use the front den as our homeschool room, and I love it so much. We used it all of last year. We have a table in the space, and I have my chair that you can see that I love to sit in while we do our readings, but it allows the girls to color and listen all at the same time, be able to sit in one space and write. But I'll show you all that in the tour. And then we had 4 like half Billy bookcases last year that I bought to store our books. And I realized that I needed some storage that is behind some doors. So I upgraded that this summer, and I just finished that like yesterday, getting everything put together. So at the end of this video, I will do a little description of everything I did for the bookcases. But all that to say, you don't need a homeschool room to be able to homeschool, but it is nice to have. I have honestly enjoyed every room that we've been in. And then, let's see, anything else that I need to say? I think that's it. Let's go. Okay, we're gonna start at the top of the bookshelf. This is where I keep all of our markers, crayons, pens, pencils, any of the coloring utensils, writing utensils the girls will need. Here are my binders for the year. Maybe I'll go through how I lay all of that out in another video. Then onto the left bookshelf, I have permanent markers up top. In this basket, I have things for road trips or to keep them occupied if we have somewhere to go. And then this whole shelf is fiction books that are alphabetized by the last name of the author. Okay, onto the right side we have our globe, our picture of baby Madeline, my non-fiction books that are alphabetized also by the last name of the author, picture of baby Lila, books that I use for schooling but I'm not using this year in particular, and some family yearbooks. Then we have a picture of baby Colette, the last of my nonfiction books, onto Bibles, used journals, and picture books for the girls. These are holiday picture books. In the left container I have coloring books because those are popular around here. Then we are going to our cabinets. These are the things that I needed to be able to hide because they just weren't very pretty. So at the top I have paints, beads, primer beads. The binders are their coloring pages they want to keep. We have puzzles, paints on the bottom. Then we have colored pencils, a CD player for audiobooks, cards when I need them, extra paper, extra notebooks, random little things on the bottom, and our kiwi boxes that we've had for a while that are just extra projects for the girls. Then we're on to our nature find shelf. The girls like to display their art as well, obviously. As you can see, our homeschool room looks into Colette's playroom, which is actually nice to be able to watch. Then we have my desk that I don't really use as a desk, but I use as basically a tabletop and some storage. I usually have a printer in that far right corner. It's just in Todd's office right now, but it definitely has a permanent home there. And then we have some crafts underneath that I have no idea where to put right now. Then I have this little bookshelf that is next to my chair, and I try to keep books that we need every week on this. So on the top left, I have our memory verse cards in those black boxes. The middle shelf is all of our books we're going to be doing this year, and our clipboards. I love using clipboards for daily use for my girls. And then the bottom shelf is all picture books that I am totally okay with them pulling out, looking through. I encourage it instead of pulling my other books out. And then in this basket, this is everything that we'll do that week. So I already have our first week pulled out. That's it for the homeschool room tour. If you want to stick around and watch how I put the bookshelves together, feel free. It gets a little sporadic because I definitely forget to film a few things, but I'll try and talk through what I did to accomplish our not so built-in built-ins. Step one is take all the things off the bookshelves that are already in there. And a cute helper is totally optional. The next step is to have an amazing husband who won't let you put the bookshelves together by yourself when you say that's what you're going to go do. He put both of my tall Billy bookcases together for me and said it was actually one of the easier things I've brought home from IKEA. So I wanted the bookcases to have a more finished top. The smaller bookcases, I set a lot of things on, and so I wanted it to be solid wood. And so I went to Lowe's, looked around, and ended up going with stair treads. They were 11¼ inch wide, which was actually perfect. And then I also bought baseboards to go around the bottom to make it look more finished as well. I believe these were 3¼ inch tall or 3½ inch. I can't quite remember, but it worked out perfectly. Then on to the never-ending painting. I had to start with a primer, and I'll put the name of the primer down in the description box. If I could go back, I would have made sure I did it really thick and covered every area I needed to, because I noticed that I think I missed some spots. Obviously tiny spots, but the primer was white, the bookshelves were white, and that was kind of difficult to tell where I had put it and where I hadn't. But this primer is a very important step, so don't skip it.
Then on to the color that I chose. I color matched a Farrow and Ball paint, which is called Pigeon. That is the color I have in our homeschool room. So I got it in a semi-gloss, and that is what I chose to do the bookshelves in. I love the fact that it blends in with the walls. It makes it look much more built in, even though it's not to the ceiling or have crown molding around the top or anything like that. So that started this painting process, which I did 2 to 3 coats depending on where I was doing it. If it was the bottom of a shelf, I did 2 coats. If it was the front or the side, I did 3. And then after I was done with as many coats of paint that I wanted to do, I used a polyacrylic over the top, which I did 3 coats on as well, to hopefully seal the bookcases, make them a lot tougher, and keep from getting them chipped, even though I am afraid that a couple places will be chipped easily. So only time will tell. Then on to my favorite part, the filling of the bookcases.